Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Alex here coming at you from Southern California. I just thought I'd come on and do a quick video. Haven't done anything in a little bit. Kind of inspired by Carm's 3 on a Thursday series and doing something outdoors, much like Carm often does when the weather gets better. It actually has been a very wet spring here, unusually so it's nice to finally get the sun out and spend a little time outside. So I'm going to show 3 records, 2 of them new acquisitions that I've been playing a lot over the last week or so, and this first one is a revisit. This one is from 1966. This is Miriam Brown, I believe self-titled on ESP disc. This is like a second pressing from like 1967-68. Really beautiful condition on this one. So yeah, I think I mentioned before I'm a huge Miriam Brown fan, and I forgot how fantastic the lineup is on this one. You got Miriam Brown on saxophone, you got Alan Shorter on trumpet, Benny Maupin on saxophone, we got Ronnie Boykins on bass, we got Reggie Johnson also on bass, and Rashid Ali on percussion. So this is Rashid Ali pretty much right before I think he joins up with Coltrane, you know, in his new lineup with Alice and Pharoah Sanders. Side A is a side-long track, fantastic slow burner, awesome bass line from Ronnie Boykins here, and Rashid Ali on drums, also killing it. It's called Capricorn Moon. That's all of side A. Really, yeah, just definitely the rhythm section really the standout there. Really like Alan Shorter on trumpet as well on that one. And then side B is 2 tracks, 27 Cooper Square and Exhibition. A little bit freer, a little bit more what you'd expect from ESP, but you know, Miriam Brown is really on fire as well on that second side. Really fantastic, and Benny Maupin is on I think he's just on that last track on Exhibition, kind of an early Benny Maupin. I don't know if he's got anything before this, so I have to look that up, but obviously, you know, known later for his collaborations with Miles and some of his fantastic solo records. So the transition here is Ronnie Boykins, and I was listening to a lot of Sun Ra recently. Sun Ra's birthday was on May 22nd, and at the same time I had just found this record. It was available online. They're very hard to come by online, and certainly almost impossible to find in the wild, but there's another record on ESP, and this is Ronnie Boykins' only effort as a leader from 1975, also on ESP disc. Much later. ESP was founded in 1963, and I forget when they disbanded, but sometime in the 70s they pretty much ran out of money and had to close up. And it's been since refurbished, and they're putting out new stuff now, but yeah, man, what an incredible record. I never thought I would find a copy, and I've been collecting the ESP label for many years now, and this might be the hardest one to find. And as you can see, this copy was sealed. Luckily, it was in really good condition. Did not have any major warps or anything. Kind of a not a household, not a lot of household names on this one other than Ronnie himself, who of course played with Sun Ra for many years. Ronnie was from Chicago and joined Sun Ra. He was, I think, high school classmates with two of Sun Ra's band members, I think Marshall and Gilmore. And so they joined up with Sun Ra in the 60s. Ronnie died in 1980 at a very, very young age of 44. So on this record, he would have been only 39 years old, which I just realized is my age right now. So there's 6 tracks, 3 on each side. Most of the first side is this track, The Will Come Is Now, which is 12 and a half minutes long, and it's, it's one of the finest examples, I think, of this sort of Eastern influenced, propulsive, bass driven type sound that we now kind of I think misname is spiritual jazz. And of course the percussion, right? So you got everybody's playing bells and shakers and other things, which is kind of another common feature of so-called spiritual jazz nowadays. But yeah, the first track is fantastic. I know it was featured in one of the spiritual jazz comps that came out a couple of years ago. The other 2 tracks are a little bit more straightforward, but definitely enjoyable. And then the opener on side B, Dawn is Evening, Afternoon, also has a very, very interesting and unusual bass line. It almost sounds like a film noir soundtrack. It just kind of swells and wanes. Really, really fantastic track. And then the closer on side B is another 12 and a half minute track called The Third Eye. And that one's got James Voss on flute, Monty Waters on soprano, Joe Ferguson on flute, Art Lewis on drums. That one is it's just a long percussion-driven piece with some beautiful flute. I'm not really familiar with James Voss or Joe Ferguson on flute, but I'll definitely try to seek out more of their stuff. So yeah, this whole record is an absolute classic. Unfortunately, has not been reissued yet. There have been a few ESP reissues, but nothing too deep in the catalog yet. I think hopefully this gets reissued sooner than later. Well deserving for sure. And then the last one, something that I just got in the mail a few days ago. So this is Phil. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Corin, perhaps. So another Sun Ra collaborator. Phil joined up with Sun Ra in the 50s, and I think left the band sometime in the 60s. He's primarily a cornet player. Really cool. This is a reissue. So originally these were pressed in a run of like 1,000 back in, I think this is originally from 72, I think. I'm not seeing a date. Oh, 1970. And there's a note here in the liner notes. It says, the album was first pressed in 1970. The public wasn't yet in a mindset to accept its radical message. Karen remembers we had 1,000 records made, and I doubt we sold 10. So this is Korn's ode to Malcolm X, and the tracks basically, each one is dedicated to a different stage of Malcolm's life. We have side one opens with Malcolm Little, of course, to represent his youth. Detroit Red, second stage, which says represents an escape through pleasure and forgetting the past. And then side two is two tracks, just the self-titled Malcolm X, and then El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, which of course represents his pilgrimage to Mecca and his immersion in Islam. So yeah, just an incredible record. It's on an amazing fidelity recording. I couldn't find exactly where this was recorded, and you can definitely tell it's probably a live recording done in a hall of some kind. I assume this might be a picture from the recording itself. So there's a little bit of kind of echo in the recording, but still the music shines through. It's, you know, again, a lot of the Eastern and African influences here. I mean, a little bit of the Sun Ra sound, but definitely its own thing. It's a larger band. It's like a 10-piece. You see the guys here, and then Philip on cornet, and then we have a vocalist, Sister Ella Pearl Jackson. Her vocals, I think it's on Detroit Red, on side one, towards the end, that are fantastic. She's not on for very long, but she really makes her presence felt. So yeah, fantastic one. I think this was reissued in 2007 on, I think it was on Soul Jazz, actually. For some reason it doesn't say here. 'Cause I don't believe that. Oh, maybe it was on Mississippi Records. Anyway, this came out about 12 years ago, and it's pretty tough to find nowadays. And of course, the originals, who knows where they ended up? Of those thousand that were originally pressed, who knows how many survived through the years? You know, they're pretty impossible to find originals. So yeah, there's 3 on a Thursday. 3 absolutely fantastic jazz records that I highly recommend. You know, of course, all of these are available on YouTube and streaming services and so on. So yeah, check them out. Yeah, hope everybody's enjoying the weather, and talk to you soon.